Hello there, viewers of High Television. You all are welcome to the Wednesday's edition of the program, as today is Wednesday, the 8th of November 2023. We start off with this first part of the program for the paper review. We start off with the Dawn. The Dawn newspaper for this morning says carnage in Mamfe. More than 20 died in barbaric attack, as reported to us by the Dawn newspaper for today. And as said, the Dawn paper on their editorial page, the paper reports Mamfe massacre a stain on our humanity. And we move over to this one. President Paul Biya celebrates 41 years in office. You get to read more on the Dawn newspaper for today. Moving over to the media, and the media talks of exclusive interview. New professional cards will grant lawyers digital access to bar services and lots more. That is what barrister Anne Yondongo Minyok, who is the bar secretary of the Cameroon Bar Association, talks on the media newspaper for this morning. The paper comes back to the 41st anniversary of President Paul Biya in Mamfe. It says 41st anniversary at half mast. Manu celebrates Biya in fire, blood and tears. The mayor of Boya talks on dry taps, huge water bills. Boya mayor looks away from calm water. We'll move now to the next publication for today. The Independent talks on corruption. The paper reports on the abstraction of the tax force. In that set, the Independent newspaper, the paper comes back to Jean-Yuki Unana, who is the mayor of Yaoundé 6th Council, who talks of the 41 years of President Paul Biya's New Day government. We move away from Jacques Yuki Unana to the paper of Sovereign Chunko, La Nouvelle Expression. La Nouvelle Expression for this morning reports Anglophone crisis, the hypocrisy of indignation. That is what the paper of Sovereign Chunko have for us as banner. In that said paper, the paper comes back to the massacre in Mamfe. It says the version of non-governmental organization. We move away to this other story on the elimination, the qualification for the World Cup, as Choupo-Moting and Mwane Ngamalung been absent from the list of 24 players called up by head coach Rigobert Song. Lloyd Isahel of Gibe Baitama for this day talks of Memorial Lane. He says the last big discussion of Amadou Ahijo. In that said paper, the paper talks on how internally displaced persons, as a result of the Boko Haram insurgency in the far north, how they are coping in the nation's political capital city of Yaoundé. Ngaoundéré, the paper talks on how the CPDM militants of Ngaoundéré celebrated the 41st anniversary of President Paul Biya's accession to Cameroon's Supreme Magistracy. And for my time for this morning report, Cyril Edouard Elo, Paul Biya is a gift from heaven, and history books will always record that. That is what the CPT militant talks on page 5 to page 7 on Info Matter for this morning. We take you to the satiric newspaper of Le Populi. Le Populi reports on the music against Lady Pons. He says the Camtel concerts that actually made Congolese Congolese music icon Fally Ipupa to headline that concert. So get to read the backlash between Lady Pons and Muziki. We move away from the historic newspaper of Le Populi. We take you now to Le Messager. Le Messager for today talks of the New Day government. It says Mayo Dane. It says anger and misery in this locality in the northern region, as well is to champion for CPDM activities in that part of the country. Succession disputes at the Fosso Victor dynasty. It says the battle for succession now returns full gear. We'll move now to the next publication for this morning. We take you to La Meteo. La Meteo talks of presidential elections 2025. It says Paul Biya, the choice of the Ndé division in the West region, as Celestin Kecha Cortez mobilizes sympathizers and militants of that part of the West region to stand behind President Paul Biya as they are asking him to be their candidate for 2025 presidential election. We move now to the publication of Quotidien Eco Sante for this morning. Talks of the African Leadership Prize in the health sector. It says the Congress of Scientific Researchers has been previewed for the from the 15th to the 16th of November 2023. You can get to read that story on the said newspaper for today. Mortality, infant mortality rate. It says three deaths out 3 die out of 10 premature babies, as the infant mortality situation in Cameroon is being highlighted by the health paper of Quotidien Eco Santé for today. Loge Rapport for this morning talks of crisis that returns to driving schools. It says it talks on the difficulties in order to conduct elections in order to conduct examinations in driving schools in Cameroon. In that said paper, FIAC 2023, the paper reports on the Cameroonian army and who reassures the community. La Voix du Jeune for this morning talks of the exclusion of some it talks on the exclusion and introduction of some key players for the qualification for the World Cup 20 the World Cup that will be coming up anytime soon. We move now to Cameroon Tribune. Cameroon Tribune talks of the killings in Mamfe. It says the quality, the unimaginable quality, as reported to us by Cameroon Tribune of Marie Claire Nana. World Cup 2026, it says qualifiers. Rigobert Song named 24-man squad. We move now to this other paper, this other story on the same Cameroon Tribune. It talks of Cameroon basketball. It's a Cameroonian club in limbo. We'll move. Let's take you to the next publication of municipal updates. Municipal updates reports Mamfe massacre. Bishop consoles victims as death toll rises. You can find that story on that said publication. 70,000 Chadian students are studying in Cameroonian universities, as reported to us by the Ministry of Higher Education. U.S. Embassy launches Academy for Women Entrepreneur Program. You can find that story on the pages of Municipal Updates for this morning. We take you to Info Show for today. Info Show talks of 41 years after, what has changed in the New Zealand government of Paul Biya. You can find that story on that said paper for today. And in the set light of the celebration of President Paul Biya, the paper reports on the motion of support and the calling of his candidature for the next presidential elections build up for 2025. We'll take you to the Guardian Post for this day. The Guardian Post says, fruit of quality training, Yaoundé International Business School matriculates over 1,000 freshmen in that said paper. The paper reports on celebration of Biya 41 years in power. Minister Fukalitus Gentry offers multi-million poverty alleviation scheme in Messager and Ako communities of Ndonga-Mantung division of the Northwest region. CPDS triples opposition in Tian, while CPDM Senator Dr. Anja Simon from Akwaya dies in a Turkish hospital. Move away from that start page, we take you to the next publication we are having for this morning. We take you to the Le Reporter Independent for today. Talks of the celebration of Paul Biya's 41st anniversary of the New Zealand government by him and family as to the palace, as reported to us by Le Reporter Independent newspaper for today. Moving up to the next publication, this time around with the voice of Randy Joseph says horror in Egbeko Mamfe, as reported to us by that set publication for today. November 6 celebrations in Ndonga-Mantung. Interim Minister Fukalitus Gentry redefines development paths in Ako and Messager localities of Ndonga-Mantung of the Northwest region. Kumba, His Majesty Senator Fon Ekokomukete the fourth salute Biya 41 years in power. Presidential majority will always rally behind the lion man Paul Biya. That is what the presidential majority spokesperson Lawan Bako talks on the pages of the Voice newspaper for this morning. We take you now to Le Locan. Le Locan talks of Bato Oya, who communes with the party militants and sympathizers in that constituency of his, as the 41st anniversary of President Paul Biya was concerned. Let's take you now to the next publication, The Punch. The Punch for today says, off-season election crisis rocks peace meeting as NLC strike threatens Imo polls. Battle for Bayelsa, Jonathan Diri Silva canvas vote. We take you to this other story that says 5 jails sharing Osun ex-speaker nude video. Nigerians lament as Canada suspend Abuja embassy operation in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We will move next door to the Punch Sports Extra for today. Says we want Mr. Randy. That is what the sports paper Punch Extra report for today. Manchester United, Andre Onana. I won't stop for taking risks. That is what Andre Onana tells the sports paper for today. Sergio backs Osimhen, and Anthony Joshua says he is not interested in a Francis Ngannou match with him. That is what the boxer from Nigerian extraction talks on that said publication for today. Expression Economy for today talks of the Glencore affair, the Cangate affair, and the COVID gate affair. It says Paul Biya blesses the inquiry. Get to read that story on that said paper. Bank Atlantic talks of the transfer of resources to CDEC. Get to read more on Expression Economy newspaper for today. We move over now to Quotidian Economy. Another economic newspaper talks of the CEMAC zone. It says transaction of money of digital money that has been progressing in the CEMAC sub-region. The CEMAC Commission budgets the 2024 budget with an increase. Get to read more on that said paper for today. Ethiopia, journalists of African continent comes in Ethiopia for how to better the profession of journalism and mass communication across the continent of Africa. Let's take you now to Ekoti Parliament. Ekoti Parliament talks on at the 6th November celebration. Honorable Etombi Gladys gives Limbe population convincing reason why President Paul Biya should remain the best choice. Get to read that story from Limbe on how celebrations were witnessed on that part of the country. Wrap up with the last publication for today. Horizon Police Magazine says far north, Yoba Abdullahi in a war with municipal councillors. You can find more on that paper as he issue a communique. With that paper, this is where we'll put a stop on the first part of the program. Do not move a muscle as we'll be back for the second part of the program, which our reviewer seated here with us. Once again, televiewers of High Television, you are welcome back to the second and last part of the program reserved for the reviewer for today. And our reviewer for today is a journalist and corporate communicator of the Munyakot area. He's a journalist with Freak Media. That is Juspens Kitty. Good morning to you, Juspens, and you are welcome.
Good morning, Larry. Thanks for having me on High TV.
All right. Right away, we move over to business. We start off with the Dawn newspaper for today. The Dawn newspaper for today says carnage in Mamfe. More than 20 die in barbaric attack.
Yes, I think that it's sad to hear such a barbaric news, given that when we are crying for things to come back to normalcy, yet we keep on hearing the rise of killings, unjustified killings, I can say. Then it only shows that we are not moving any forward. Yes, we are not moving any forward, and the more this keeps on increasing, the more this keeps on happening in our society today, Larry, I I fear for the southwest population, the Manu population in particular, where we have this gruesome killing taking place. And also, this also shows that we are not secure despite the messages that we hear from the government, from the powers that be, that things are coming back to normalcy. I will say that this only shows that nothing or little or nothing is being done, and they should still keep on their toes. They should still keep on their toes and prevent, like to try to prevent this from happening, especially the authorities there. I be it is bad when you hear such killings happening, yet the forces of law and order cannot apprehend or cannot even give a detail of these killings. Then what are they doing there? The question we ask is, what are they doing there?
And just to reiterate, the Egbeko area where this sad incident happened is just a stone throw from the gendarmerie post of Manfi, in that locality, not less than 200 meters. So you can imagine, and they are thing there in that set area, because I know that area very very well, and there are army uniform or military checkpoint around there. But to what beats our imagination, how does this happen? Just a stone throw from the gendarmerie, what is Legion, or how do they call it, or post from Egbeko in Manfi?
That is what puzzles me as well, and the rest of Cameroonians, because we cannot say we have forces of law and order at our disposal to protect us, to guide us, yet we are still unsafe. It means they are there just for the big people. They are there just for the government officials. Because the normal man or the middleman down there has little or no protection, because it is bad that just a stone throw, like just imagine we are here and we have checkpoint just at Malingo, and all of a sudden you hear that killing people, storming the area and kill people. Then you ask yourself, where were these military officers?
That's a question.
After this, they will start doing kale kale. That's what they are.
Mass arrest.
Mass arrest. After those that have come to carry out their atrocities, they have done it and left. That's when they are coming out. So who are you fooling? That is the question we're asking.
All right, we'll move away from the paper of the Dawn. This time around, we take you to the Median. The Median of Stephen Ojong has a different twist to the Manfi massacre of last Monday, the 6th of November 2023. The paper of Stephen Ojong titles that as it says 41st anniversary at half mass. Manu celebrates beer in fire, blood and tears. This is what actually made me to get pissed off. A day like this, people are being killed, but we still have some, I don't know how I can describe these persons. They say they go and carry out celebrations on a day where people are mourning. Are we actually serious in this country? Just Pence.
Larry, that is what I think. Yeah, I have to laugh because it is funny. It is funny because you cannot say you are mourning yet
and you are celebrating.
You're celebrating.
That's double standard.
It's just like I was in a taxi yesterday and a guy, one man, received a text message that yes, you're happy. He just lost his daughter and he's going to attend a wedding ceremony of his friend. And someone,
that's outrageous.
I don't know who sent him that message. Say, you're happy, means you're happy for the loss of your daughter. How can you be in grief? How can you be?
And you go attend a wedding party.
Then you're going, no matter who that person is to you, that person ought to understand that you are in pain.
Yeah, and you're in mourning.
Instead, that person should send persons to come and condole with you. But in Manfi, the reverse was true. How can the population, or let me say the government in quote, go to celebrate
government officials?
I tell you, they go to celebrate when the house is on fire.
People are crying, wailing.
Then
corpses littered everywhere.
Those same persons will believe that they are going to sympathize with the victims.
Can you imagine?
How true is that?
How is that even possible? It's terrible.
So, and then when the angry population now tends to mock at them or tends to push them away, they will say that they are not respecting administration. How do you expect them to respect you when in their grief, in their sorrow moment,
You are celebrating.
you are celebrating? It means you're happy.
And
It means you know what happened. That is
I think that's an
Yes.
oversight. That's an oversight.
Yes, it means you know
No,
what happened.
let's
Because
not put it
they
that
cannot
way.
kill your child and
You are celebrating.
You're celebrating. It means you know what killed.
What transpired.
What transpired.
It's sad.
So it is bad. I condemn this act. It is very bad, and I think that the headline of the media, they were very, very optimistic.
Okay.
Yes, they were very, very optimistic with the headline.
All right, we remain with the median of Stephen Ojong for this morning. He says dry taps, huge water bills. Boya Mayor David Mafani Namange looks away from Cam Water in order for providing potable water to the Boya population as he is sorting community water scheme and a borehole. You were there for that meeting?
Yeah, I was there yesterday. Well, when I heard the mayor talking, I paused for a minute and I pondered about with myself that I heard that the council is owing Kamwata 1.3 billion something.
Yeah.
And I asked myself, where is the water even? Because we know Boya is suffering from water crisis.
Yeah.
Yet we hear such amount that the council is owing Kamwata. So then, because we see boreholes now, boreholes are common. People, individuals now, they tend to they tend to provide boreholes for themselves, their cities, and helping the community. So it wonders me, or it baffles me when the council will say they are owing Kamwata 1.3 billion plus for water. So that, I think that there is a question mark there, to my own opinion.
Okay.
There is a question mark there, but I want to congratulate the council for what they have been doing, their other projects, like going down to Bojongo, the water pipe projects. I think it is good. The water catchment that they are building, that is understandable. So I think that it is high time that they tend to do this on their own, rather than saying they are paying money to
Come water
when we are not even seeing the water.
Okay.
There are times we go for a week plus without no water.
Okay.
Malingo, for example, I live here.
Okay.
We have two public
taps.
taps. We go for 1 week, 2 weeks without
flow of
water. So what helps us is the boreholes that people have dug for themselves, and we go there and buy. So I think that Boya Council, for them to not to be in debt, they should try to build more water catchments and supply water to the community as they are doing now, and stop relying on Kamwata, because they are just wasting money.
Okay.
To me, I think that's wastage of investment.
All right, we'll move from Boya. We're taking out to Yaoundé with Mita Siong. Mita Siong of Terry Diaga for this morning have as lead story. 1 month after the Yaoundé landslide incident in Bankolo of Yaoundé 2 area, it says victims of the said incident have been completely forgotten, as reported to us by Mita Siong.
Yes, Larry, that is very, very important. I think in Cameroon we are known for how can I put it? I'm looking for
promise and fail.
Not really promise and fail. Something like show off.
Okay.
Yes, like when you have something, that's where you see the government. They come that very moment, that day, just to blindwash people, and after that day,
It dies a natural
it is
death.
forgotten. It is the same thing. We have good laws that if they are being like implemented, will not suffer in this country. But
Okay.
they are good on the paper,
Yeah.
but to apply it,
The applicability is zero.
it is a problem. So I think that the government needs to go back. I always say go back on the drawing board.
Okay.
Yes, they need to go back
So the
and
number.
fulfill their promises to these victims. They need to go back and fulfill their promises to these victims.
All right.
It is not just going there because the cameras are there that day, that moment.
And in the name of the head of
in
state.
the name of the head of state. That is
With
what is
high
happening.
instruction.
No minister, no government official goes to do something without
In the name of the head of state, on high instruction of the head of state.
So it means if the head of state does not send you there, you will not go. That's what they are saying. That's what they are saying. A disaster like that will happen. You go. It is your domain. It is where you have to go and
Exercise your
duties.
professionalities.
But you go and say, in the name of the head of state,
I'm
I am here to give. It means that if the head of state does not send you nothing, then what is the budget for? Or the budget that they are giving to your ministry?
Okay.
What is the budget for? So, Larry, I think that we are really lacking. We are really lacking behind. And more just to say, all these are political campaigns. These are political strategies. We know the elections is fast approaching
2025.
So that to me was just a political sham.
Okay.
To cajole the public that they are with them.
All right.
It is time for the people to know that okay, these people can be with us in a grievous moment and after the moment. So you don't just go because it has happened that day. You want to show that no, you're with them. Then after that, nothing is said about it.
All right, we remain with Mutation newspaper. This time around, we'll be talking succession dispute in the Fosso Victor dynasty. The Cameroonian late business billionaire gentleman who passed on from the West region. The paper says the enterprise of Fosso Victor is divisive as the children are contesting the various will. We are having like two or more wills. So this was saying this person is a successor, this person is a successor, or this person is a heir of the Fosso Victor dynasty. So this actually has led the Fosso Victor dynasty in shambles. So what do you make of this phenomenon that is fast rising in the country?
That is what is killing us today. That is what is killing us today.
A man dies and goes, and the children are at
Fighting for
loggerhead.
property. If your father was lazy around, did not work hard to acquire those properties, what will you be fighting for? Now that is no more. So I think it is high time that as Cameroonians we need to forget the issue of property. Ask yourself that if my father did not work hard to acquire these properties, because it is only a lazy fellow, it's only a lazy man who fights over the father or the mother or the properties. Because if you're hard working to acquire your own things, those properties will not mean anything to you. I think their father fought hard, lived a good life to keep the name in a good profile, and now just few weeks to his demise,
Few years,
I beg your pardon, to his demise, they are already
Fosso Victor.
Fosso Victor is not trustworthy as well.
Okay.
Because if you're trustworthy,
He's having a lawyers, not lawyer.
Lawyers.
Battery of lawyers.
But even at that, they need when you write your will, that one will needs to circulate amongst the battery of lawyers that you have.
Okay. All right, that's a practical lesson we are gaining from you. We'll move over to Info Show for this day. Info Show for today talks of 41 years after. What have changed and what are the possible prospects for the Supreme Magistracy of President Paul Biya, the helm of the country? Now, this one was directed to Cabral Libri of the PCRN party, as the paper captions it for us.
Yeah, I'll say the regime in power, they have tried their best,
Okay.
though they are still hoping for more power, like what everyone is saying.
Mm-hmm.
We wish him a happy 41 years in power and more 40 years in power. So I think that for every country to move forward, there must be change of power.
Okay.
Yes, you must test this person's ability. I used to ask myself that all these ministers, all these opposition, all these other persons, can they lead the country?
Okay.
Because everything they want to say is in the name of the head of state, in the name of the head of state. Yes, he is good. He is good. Nobody can judge that he is good.
Making him more of a demigod.
But when you do, it's like we are saying there is no other person in Cameroon that can rule this country, which is preposterous, which is very, very bad, because we have good young persons who can ascend the seat.
Some are calling him to stand for 2025 presidential elections, while some other Peter militancies, they wish him another 40 years.
40 years.
I think that will make President Paul Biya, that will be 130 or 40, if I'm not mistaken.
It means,
or
it
50.
It means Cameroon now has become a kingdom. That's to my own understanding.
Not actually a kingdom, like a property that is
A property, yes.
belongs to someone.
Because how can one person hold seat for
41 years,
41 years,
and they're
but
asking
still
for another
asking
40
for
years,
more 40
making
years.
it 81.
It means in this country,
What they say in pidgin, not be juju be that.
It is funny. It is funny. But at the same time, I weep for Cameroon. At the same time, I weep for Cameroon.
All right.
Because the in as much as is good, but the mind is weak.
Okay.
The ability is weak. We need a change.
Okay.
At least let's change. Let's get a change from Ijo. We had him ever since. No other person. So
All right.
let's try to get a change.
Okay, we are waiting for 2025 to come to find out if at all His Excellency Paul Biya will be running or not.
Well, like I think he already has an upper hand.
Okay.
Just imagine in Dian.